from Tropical Smoothie is really, really good. But I know you're not here to hear about my favorite drink when I come from the gym. Today we're going to be exploring the MX Creative Console. Now, if you look right here, now the MX controller is basically a creative tool that allows us to be able to use with Photoshop and things like that. Now, I'm going to actually be using this with DaVinci Resolve. Is technically not on here, but since these are just MX keys, I should be able to program them to do whatever I want. So I don't necessarily have to have it on here to use it. And this knob right here is the main reason why I wanted it, because now I actually have a dedicated knob and it works together. So let's unbox it and see how it looks. All right, and it's a box inside of a box. So once we open it up, this right here, this is extremely light. That's the first thing that pops into my head. It's extremely light. It put me in the mind of my Elgato Stream Deck. The buttons honestly feel the same. Only difference is I got these buttons down here to change the page. But yeah, the buttons don't feel as good as the Stream Deck, but it's okay. Over here, this is what I really was interested in right here. This is the dial knob. And the reason why I'm interested in this so much is because when I'm actually scrolling through my timeline, I wish they had like a little indentation to make it easier to grab, but I guess having it like this is okay. These buttons, I'm curious to see what I can do with them. This, I hope it allows me to zoom in and zoom out. And this allows me to actually scroll around my timeline or scrub through my timeline, say it betterly. So it's nice. Now, what also comes in a box is the Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, I'm very much so interested in using this because it's supposed to give me 3 months of Creative Cloud for free, even though I already paid for it. So if that actually does work, and I'll report back to you, but if it actually does work, then that's worth the purchase of this to be able to save $56 per month. The cable that comes in the box is going to be, okay, it's USB-C, USB-C. I like that. That's awesome. This right here, okay, this is the base for it to stand on. I'm not going to use this because, well, the goal is to put this in my book bag and take it around with me, so I won't need that. And yeah, so I won't be using that. We do have other documentation in the box, but let's plug it up and get it set up. So as you can see, it does come with batteries already up in there. So I can just push this back down, put that back on. And I'm assuming I hold this. Here's the power on switch. It automatically shows. On my laptop, it's showing that I have one, so I can click connect from my laptop and it should. Okay, so now it's connected to here, which is awesome. So I could sit this right here, and I'm going to actually plug up this right here, and I'll let you see everything that's going on in just a second. Oh wow, this is a pretty decent sized cable. I probably will get a cable that's a lot shorter. But for right now, let's see. All right, so we can see the Logitech has come on. And let's see how I can record my screen. All right, so I'm gonna hope that the screen is recording on my Surface. It's my first time using it. But as you can see from this top down shot, you can see it's here, it's working, it's actually connected. All right, so now that we're here, the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna type in mxsetup.logi.com. We're gonna hit enter. It's gonna bring us to this website right here. Now, if you need help setting it up, you can click right here, but as soon as I turn mine on, it instantly connected to Bluetooth. I'm gonna say no, I'm ready to customize. Once you click right there, it's gonna actually bring you here. And it doesn't matter which operating system you're on, meaning if you're on, ARM or Intel, doesn't matter. you just click on Windows or Mac OS. So I'm on an ARM chip, but I'm still going to click on download from Windows 10 or later. Once you've done that, I'm going to actually close this out because I've already got it installed. So I'm just going to launch it, and I'm going to hit enter. All right. So you can see right now, you can see that this device is connected via Bluetooth. I'm going to make sure this device is turned on. So now that it's turned on, you can see it's automatically popping up. So here's what I want to start with first. So the whole goal is to set this up with DaVinci Resolve, but I also want to set up some macro keys for just my normal flow. So before we jump into the DaVinci Resolve part, I'm going to show you really quickly how to do it with your macro keys as well. All right, so I'm going to click right here, customize keys. And basically, if you've ever used a Stream Deck or heck, any type of macro pad, it's the exact same thing. So all of these are going to be shortcuts. So I can see right here, this says open. So I could say open application right here. And I could say resolve. And then I can come over here and I could look for resolve. And it doesn't look like resolve is up in here, which is kind of strange. Yeah, resolve isn't here. I wonder why not. So that's a little bit different. So I hope they give us an option to be able to navigate to navigate to applications that don't pop up on here at first. So I guess since I don't see resolve, I can put Affinity Photo right here because that is an app that I use all the time. I could put one right here. I can put, let's see here. Another app is Lightroom. I use that a lot as well. Another app that I use a lot, we're going to go back to open application, drop it right here. And let's see here. What's another one that I use a lot? I do use Anki quite a bit. Blend Etcher, I use that a lot. That's how I do my Linux distros. Let's see here. I think the first page probably, it kind of threw me off with me not being able to open up Resolve. I hope that's not the case when I get to the other page, but let's just see. So what I'll do instead is I'll make this a web page. So I'm going to say google.com. I'm going to say save. So now when I click on it, as you can see, as soon as I click the button, it opens up google.com. So that button works just fine. The next one is, I definitely want Window Explorer. And when I click on it, it opens up Window Explorer. As you can see, pretty cool stuff. The next one I want to do is actually a keyboard shortcut because I want to be able to launch my launcher. So I will come down to keyboard shortcut, and this is, I'm just going to say open apps. And I could tell you one thing, this Surface Pro is really working right now, but I'm going to say Alt plus spacebar, save. Now when I push on it, you can see this bar right here comes up. The next one I want to do, and if I click right here, right now that's opening up Blenching Etcher, which is this right here. So this can be used as a macro pad. I'm going to really dig deeper into it. But for right now, so that it's not blank anymore, as you can see, is no longer blank. It has those on here, and I can, put them as I see fit. I can add more to it. Let's see, am I able to customize these icons a little bit more? Let's click back in, click right here. And yeah, so I'm able to customize it. doesn't look like I'm able to upload my own icon. I would like to see them bring that at some point to the software. Or can I do it right here? Let's see, what is this? Browse. Actually, I can. Let's see, can I use this? Select. Maybe they'll let me do it. If I click on save. Oh, snap. They do got it. All right. And you can see right here, the motorcycle shows up on my icon now. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That's pretty cool. So let's click back in. So that means we can completely customize this how we see fit. But I'm gonna get rid of that for now. So now I really like that a lot, seriously. So I'm just gonna save that back out, save it back out. And we can come here later on and change this up. If I wanted to, I could come back over here, just pick any icon just to remove the motorcycle, say save, and now you can see it's removed. But we're here to play around with Resolve. Let's see. So I see I can add a profile, but I think I want, if it's like, I want it to be app specific, so I'm gonna click on the plus. All right, this is what I'm looking for right here. And the difference is with application profile, that means when you open it up, it should allegedly automatically switch over to that specific profile because you set up specific buttons for it. All right, so I'm gonna click right here. And I didn't see Resolve in there, so I'm pretty certain we're not gonna see it here, but let's look anyway. All right, so Resolve isn't in this pile, but all right, cool. So you can see it says select another application. So right now, I'm going to select another application. I'm going to browse. We'll come down to this PC, click into it, program files, Blackmagic Design. Here's DaVinci Resolve. Now we just want to scroll through here until we actually see the Resolve application. That's what we're looking for, which is right here. So I'm going to say import and I'm going to say start blank. Now I don't want it to say that. I just want it to say Resolve. I'm going to say confirm. Now what just happened is whenever I open up the Resolve app, it's going to switch over to this profile. So the way I have my Resolve set up is a little bit different. Like I optimized my keys in a way where I can push one button and do a lot of stuff. So I just switched up my keyboard layout. All right, so I know that starting out, and I kind of want to, let's open up Resolve right here. Let's really put this to the test and see how good this Surface Pro 11 is. So I'm opening up Resolve right now in another window. And what I want to do is I want to set it up so that I can use these right here to be able to edit without having to put my hands on my keyboard and things like that. I already have a demo project for us to play around with. So I'm going to open it up. We're going to jump over to the timeline and we can see that this stuff, as it stands right now, you can see me pushing it and you can see it's not doing anything. So right now we want to fix that. We want to be able to use this to edit inside of Resolve. So I'm going to bring up my, I think it's like Shift Control K. Yeah, okay. See, I'm so used to Mac shortcuts. I'm getting used to this one. But all right, so this is what I want to bring up. This is my shortcuts layout, and this will let me know what I can and cannot do. All right, so let's go back over here. And we're going to start with our keyboard shortcuts. So this is going to be cut. And my cut is W. Let's see here. My next one below it is going to be ripple. Delete. That's going to be S, which is right below the W. This is going to be, I think I call it trim left. This is going to be Q. This is going to be trim right. This is going to be E. Up here, I would like this to be, gonna make this undo. I think that's Control Z. And if we want to, once we get all of this set up, we can come up in here and change out the icons for the ones where we can. I want this to go, so this is backward, if I can spell, so I know that's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, that's the right arrow. I think it's up. I think it's arrow up, but let's see. All right, so let me see right quick because it's not telling me what I want to know. So I'm just going to cut right there. Maybe cut right there. And now I want to see. Okay, so yeah, these move. So left and right moves frame by frame, and up and down is jumping to cuts. Got it. All right. So I want this to be the up arrow. So I was right. All right. So I want that to be the up arrow to go backwards. I want this to be the forward. And this is going to be down. I'm going to say save. Now right here, I want this to be my selection. So I think this is going to be A, which is going to be, so this is my select tool. And I want this to be trim. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be T. Now, this is my first setup. So if we wanted to come through here, we can come through and set it up, make it look better. Meaning I could probably come here, say backward. Let's see, arrow. And that's the arrow. So I could say save, save. Then I could come over here, maybe click right here, see if they got any icons that say undo. Okay, right here. So I can grab that, save it, save it. I can come right here. I could say arrow, but I see it's right here. So I could just say that's forward. And that started allowing me to look down and see what them do without actually looking. Like right here, I can click on here and see if they got any scissors, like cut. No, they don't. Let's skim it right quick, see if we, oh, they got one right here. So I'm gonna say that, say save, save. Now the trim, I know they're not gonna have anything for trim. Ripple delete, they're not gonna have anything for ripple delete, but what we could try to do is see if they have like an X, like an icon that represent an X or something like that. We could skim it right quick and see if we see anything. If we don't, we could always come up in here and add our own icons. That's the beauty of this. And I don't see anything, but maybe we can use, yeah, I don't even see anything that would make sense to use for a ripple delete. So yeah, that would be something we will have to create our own icon for. But what I would do now is I would come over here. First, before I do that, let's make sure this is working. So let's come back over here. And I'm going to put this mouse. I'm going to say cut. And as you can see, it's cutting. I go forward. Now I can go forward using this button. If I want to, let's say, select this. Let's say I want to ripple delete. You can see that deletes everything and closes the gap. Let's see if I wanted to trim. Let's see if I cut this and then I click on trim. You can see now I can trim. You would look right here to see that it's working. All right, and if I'm done trimming, and I want to go back to my select tool, I click A, and you can see it puts me back at my mouse, and I'm no longer able to use the trim. As you can see, it breaks it. And that's the difference in the trim tool. All right. So now if I wanted to, let's see, what was the other one that I picked up? Oh yeah, okay, backwards, forwards work. So we can see all of this works. So if I come back over here, I would add another page for this, because I know for sure, I'm gonna add a keyboard to here. I'm gonna call this cam 1. I'm gonna call this cam 2. This is gonna be cam 3. Now, what I want these to do is I actually want to switch cameras. I don't want to cut to the camera. I want to actually switch to the camera. So I'm gonna say this is cam 3. No, cam 4. I don't usually have more than 4, so I'm cool with that. Now, I don't use it a lot, so I need to actually bring up my shortcuts for it. If I'm not mistaken, what is it? Shift, Command, Shift, Control K. Okay. So now what I want to do is swap. Let's say, what is it? Multiple camera switching right here. And that's going to be Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3. And to cut is going to be Meta. +1, Meta, +2, Meta, +3. Meta. What the heck is a meta? I think this is the Windows key. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. They're just saying the Windows key. So once we get to this part, we'll make sure we do it. But let's come back over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is Alt 1. This is Alt 2. This is Alt 3. This is Alt 4. And now all my keys, now I can swap between those cameras with no problem. So I don't have to find a specific place to cut. I could just swap the whole clip that I'm on back to camera 2. All right. Now what I want to do is, now for the most part, this is done. I want to step back out because I want to work on this, because if we come back over here, we can see that if I close this out and I click on my timeline, this doesn't do anything to control my timeline. We want to give it some functionality. And these buttons going around here is going to be the buttons I use to cut my cameras. All right. So let's go back and set that up. So I'm going to come over here. So first things first, let's deal with this contextual scroll. Whoa. We almost made a mistake. All right. So I was finna just start working, but I need to make sure I come up here and I change the profile, and we need to come down here like we did for the last one, and we need to make sure that we actually putting this up under Resolve. All right. And we're going to change this to say Resolve. So I'm going to say confirm. Now I'm up under that one. That's what I want. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm on mouse scroll, up, down. This is going to be timeline. I'm going to say save. If we come back over here, we can see if it's working. All right, so it's not allowing us to move it yet. Let's see right here. So I can see this is horizontal and vertical. Now if I do right, left, they kind of don't make sense, but let's see. And that's what it got to be, right, left. So you can see now I can actually move the timeline. And if I'm over here and I want to cut, I could just be using only these two. I really like that. Only thing I will say is this moves very fast. So there's not a lot of play. I hope they come out with a way for us to slow it down, because if you want to just scroll through super fast, then that makes sense. But if you don't, then that's going to be problematic for you to fine tune and just go clip by clip, because it's definitely going to take some getting used to. And then I want this to be able to scroll, to zoom in and out of my timeline as well. So let's go back and add that functionality. So if I click right here, we're going to say mouse scroll, modifier key, and I think it's Alt. And this is going to be zoom. And this might be up and down. Nah, it might be right and left, because I think the other one was right and left. Let's just go see right quick. So now if I'm zoom, all right, we can see it worked. So I can zoom all the way into my timeline. And if you look right here, this is what's moving over here. So if I zoom all the way into my timeline, this works. Now, if you notice, I can't move this. And the reason why I can't move this is because this playhead is fixed. If the playhead isn't fixed, so if you click over here really quickly, and if I unclick this, now I can grab this and move it however I want. The problem is now I'm moving the timeline, and it still requires me to use my mouse, because I gotta bring the playhead to wherever the timeline is. But with a fixed timeline, the timeline always stay in the middle of the playhead, and I'm able to do my cuts with no problem. So you want to make sure you have a fixed playhead if you're going to be using this right here. The other thing we need to do is, let's come back over here, and what we're going to do, and I just want to make sure I'm still recording, and I am. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to actually add in our custom buttons right here. So I go to keyboard shortcut right here. This is going to be cam 1, and camera 1, I think it's like Alt something. Let's bring back up the keyboard shortcut. Now you can see why we had this up. So I'm going to say cam. So I want to cut. Okay, so it's Windows, but on number 4 angle, it's not Windows. And that's because on mine, I use 1, 2, 3. So 1 is to zoom, go backwards really fast. 3 is to go forward really fast. And 2 is to play as if I'm using a space bar. So that's what that is. So if I click on 1, you can see it goes. If I click on 3, you can see it goes. And then if I click 2, you can see it reverts back to just being a normal playhead. So that's the reason why those are like that. All right. Let's come back over here, and we're going to say win 1, and right here it's going to be win 2. This is going to be cam 2. Keyboard right here is going to be cam 3, and that's going to be win 3. Save. And then this one right here is going to be cam 4, and this is going to be just the number 4. Save. All right, so now we have everything set up just the way we like it. Now if we come back over here, we now have everything we need set up. And the cool thing about it is, if we wanted to, let's say, trim, to make sure it trim, we can see it work. If we wanted to come right here and trim that part, we can see that it works. And if I wanted to cut, I can cut now. You can see everything works. I'm using only my timeline. If I needed to cut to another camera, I could literally just push this right here and it will work. Now, because I don't have that button set up yet, it's opening up in here. But that's a good question. Why is it opening up in here? Oh, because it's using a hotkey, and it's nowhere to switch to. Okay, got you. No problem. So let's see here. Now, if I had a multicam sequence that I was doing, which I don't, but if I did, then it will work just fine. Now, if I'm concerned about it not working, I could come over here. I could do cam. Instead of having this meta 1, which I'm assuming is a Windows key, but maybe it's not, I could delete all of those, and I can come back up here and I can say Control-Shift-1. That's it. Nope, I don't want to do that because it's already assigned somewhere else. What is it? Alt-Control-Shift-1, Alt-Control-Shift-2, Alt-Control-Shift-3, and I can save that. So now Alt-Control-Shift-1, Alt-Control-Shift-2, Alt-Control-Shift-3. All right, so now I can come back over here, and that way I will ensure I don't have any conflicts. So that's 1. That's 2. So we're going to change that. 2. And this is why you gotta love macro keys. There is no way I would change this up to be Alt-Control-Shift-3 and have to push all these keys just to change the camera angle. But with macro keys, you can do it. That's the beauty of it. All right, now let's come back over here. I can close this out. And now when I push those buttons, it don't do anything because there's nowhere for it to go. I really like that. Now, that's how easy it is for us to set up our creative workspace using the MX keys. So this is the MX console. Now, I have to tell you, like, I am very, very impressed and happy with it, mainly because you just don't know how long I've been searching for something like this. Now, I would like to see Logitech come out with something that allows us to actually slow down the speed and control of this, like something similar to the Shuttle Pro. Like they have it where you can slow down the speed of the turn. I would like to see something like that. Is very much so needed. However, I want them to implement it better than the Shuttle Pro, because the Shuttle Pro is smooth and great if you're just holding it, using it and automated in the automation way. But if you want to fine tune things, this allows you to do it, but it's so fast. Like you have to really get used to it. It's kind of like picking up a mouse with, they got somebody with the fastest setting, and you got to get used to being able to move it and slow it down and get the right precise turn. Now, with that being said, I feel like this is an awesome start, and honestly, I'm more than happy with this setup. Like, I'm going to be giving it a shot. I'm going to be giving it a try. I'm going to be playing with it. I'm going to be customizing it. I mainly bought this specifically to go alongside or work alongside my Surface Pro 11 because I want to do some content creation on here as well. I want to do some editing on here. So I'm super stoked about it. Honestly, for me, this is a no-brainer. I did have time to go back and grab my free, Adobe Cloud. So for me, it didn't work. Like I never got the email for the Adobe Cloud, but I found a old one from when I bought my MX Master 3S, and they sent me one in that as a promo code. And the way it worked was I could get 1 month free of Adobe Creative Cloud, or I could get 3 months free of the $20.99 for Photoshop or whatever it was, I think. So I did the 1 month free. So my next bill not until December something, which is kind of cool. I'm not tripping. That it's a W for me. And if I do get the other one to it, I'm wondering if I'll be able to add that to my account as well. But as it stands right now, I haven't gotten it yet. They said something about the Logi app or something like that, so I have to look more into it. If I find out any more about it, I will let you know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And honestly, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, I definitely want to see them do a few things with this knob as far as slowing the speed down or being able to turn it into like a jog wheel like DaVinci Resolve have with their wheel, where you can make it a jog wheel or you can make it faster or whatever the case may be and make it to the point where you can barely control it. I would like to see that software functionality come to this knob because that's the only thing it's missing. As far as these buttons go, these buttons are not as good as, let's say, you know, the Stream Deck buttons. Like, you're not getting Stream Deck button quality here, but what you are getting is a nice portable device, which, man, look at this. Like, this is insane. Like, you see how small this is, and the fact that I can easily unplug it from this cable, chuck it in my bag, and have both of these ready to go. Like, you just don't understand. Like, this is what I've been looking for, like, seriously. So for me, obviously, take everything I'm saying in this review with a grain of salt, because for me, they have solved a big major problem for me, and honestly, I'm over the moon with it. I highly recommend you check it out. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Till next time, later.